Coming up this morning on DITV, March to the Old Capitol. Local students take a stand against gun violence.
And later, we take a look at how Iowa City prepares for Valentine's Day.
What do I love more than chocolate and flowers? Find out in sports.
Will the weather be impacting any Valentine's Day plans you have? Stay tuned for weather to find out.
All that more coming up on this Thursday Valentine's Day morning broadcast.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
Good morning, thank you for tuning in. I'm Sydney Zatz.
And I'm Anthony Caligari.
On Monday morning, Iowa City middle school and high schoolers conducted a walkout in wake of the Parkland school shootings anniversary.
Today marks 1 year since a gunman opened fire at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, killing 17 people. Around 250 marched from City High, West High, and Southeast Junior High to the Old Capitol building to protest gun laws. Students expressed the lack of safety they feel with those laws in place, with posters and chants denouncing gun violence. City High Class President Tegan Roeder told the Daily Iowan, quote, "We want to bring awareness and express how angry and disturbed we are by the shootings that are happening constantly, because it could be us," end quote.
The Iowa City School District responded to the walkout in a statement, stating the school entrances are secured and emergency plans are in place.
Many Parkland survivors have become advocates for the stronger gun laws. As the 1 year anniversary approaches, they have expressed why they chose to use their voice to end gun violence in America and how other students can too.
Oh, it's been an absolute roller coaster. But I think essentially from that day onward, the reason why I went out and spoke so early on was because for the first time in my life leading up to that point, I had felt like emotions. I had felt like I'd felt empathy for my sister, because at school that day she had lost 4 friends. And I didn't want anybody else to have to go through that pain. I didn't want anybody else to have to hear the suffering that my sister went through that day. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to go out there and speak for those that couldn't at the time, like my sister or someone like Manuel Oliver and the other parents and siblings that had lost either siblings or children that day, for those that couldn't at the time, so that this wouldn't just be another mass shooting in the history of America.
For more on this, check out today's front page of our paper edition, where Daily Iowan reporters Audit Tomba and Julia Shanahan tell more.
The University of Iowa's campus has countless places to eat, but there is a noticeably lack of chain and fast food restaurants compared to other colleges, leaving many students with one question: why? UI Dining Director Jill Irvine says code regulations and limited campus space do not allow for the addition of fast food chains. Irvine told the Daily Iowan National Change approached the UI years back, but quote, they come to you and basically give you the plans to have you build out the space, so it conforms to what their standards are. We can't do that right now because of the FEMA regulations we're currently living with, end quote. The University of Iowa has no plans to change its food landscape on campus.
Valentine's Day is incorporated in different ways in a local Iowa City flower shop and bakery. DITV reporter Melissa Meter has more on the story.
Valentine's Day is associated with flowers and bakeries. In Iowa City, these two types of businesses prepare and incorporate Valentine's Day in different ways. Benno's Flowers is owned by Benito Ocampo, and he has a wide variety of flowers to choose from for Valentine's Day.
Roses is the most popular always. Yeah. Red roses, it's the big thing. And then right now I've been having a lot of orders with pink roses. So I think the pink roses might be one of the things that is gonna sold out more first. What I'm trying to do is, have all different kind of flowers, mostly roses. So I have, a lot of fun flowers like the sunflowers. So I think the rainbow flowers will be fun. Create your own bouquet. When you select 10 stems, you get 10%. If you select 20 stems, you get 20% of the flowers.
Deluxe cakes and pastries create unique Valentine's Day treats. There are themed cookies, macaroons, cupcakes, cakes, and many others. Owner Jamie Powers was busy preparing.
The busiest time of the bakery is like Easter, Christmas Eve, and Valentine's Day. Day before Valentine's Day, day of.
One of the most popular treats is the Conversation Heart Cookie. The cookie comes with your pick of a PG, R, or XXX rated saying on it. All of the bakery's Valentine's Day treats can also be ordered online and delivered. Reporting from Deluxe Cakes and Pastries, this is Melissa Meter, DITV News.
You know, Anthony, between all those Valentine's Day treats, it looks like Melissa had time to come into our weather studio today.
You're right, Sydney. It looks like she can do it all. Let's toss it over to Melissa in our weather studio to tell us all about today's weather. Melissa?
If anyone has any big plans for Valentine's Day, they're in luck. The weather's going to stay pretty mild. Today we have a high of 37 and a low of 2 degrees. This morning we have some cloudy skies and light winds 5 to 10 miles per hour in the afternoon. And into tonight, the winds will pick up to around 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight's temperatures will be in the single digits, just like me, at 2 degrees. Now on to the extended forecast. Friday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 13 and a low of 7. There will be mild winds around 10 miles per hour. As we move into the weekend, temperatures will stay in the mid-20s. Saturday, it will be mostly sunny, but be prepared for another snowy Sunday because there's a 60% chance of snow. Next week, on Monday and Tuesday, we'll see temperatures in the low 20s. Monday will be partly cloudy with light winds, and Tuesday there's a 40% chance of snow showers. Anthony and Sydney, back to you at the desk.
The 91st Academy Awards are coming up on February 24th, but the award show has been caught up in controversy this year. DITV Arts and Culture reporter Kaylin Cluck is in the newsroom to discuss the latest news with the award show. Kaylin?
Yes, despite being known as the most glamorous night in Hollywood, the great irony of the Oscars this year is that no one wanted to host it, and the awards ceremony continues to face backlash. But how did the Oscars become this controversial, and maybe more importantly, who is going to win despite it all? Here's a quick rundown of everything that's happening with the Oscars. A greater sense of social consciousness has overwhelmed the movie industry in the 21st century. In recent years, there has been greater concern over having more diversity in the pool of nominees in Oscar categories for acting and directing. And so when this year's planned host, comedian Kevin Hart, had passed homophobic tweets surfaced, the Academy was pressured to remove him from the broadcast. Hart stepped down himself back in December, but since then, the Academy has been unable to find a suitable replacement. Oscar hosts rarely receive critical acclaim, the job making one a target of blame whenever the show falls short. As a result, the awards ceremony won't have a host for the first time since 1989. And in the past few days, a new controversy erupted when it was announced that 4 out of the 24 awards will be given out during commercial breaks. The winners for cinematography, film editing, live action short, and makeup and hairstyling won't have their speeches aired live. The Academy said this decision was made in order to cut an hour off the ceremony, and some parts of the speeches will be shown later in the broadcast. This decision has angered numerous Oscar nominees and the American Society of Cinematographers, whose president is saying this decision minimizes the importance of their creative role in filmmaking. These are just 2 of many controversies that have come with the 2019 Oscars. But if there's one fun aspect to this year's show, it's that the big winner is harder to predict this year. Films like Roma, The Favorite, and A Star is Born are all battling it out for Best Picture. The demographics of Academy voters have shifted in the past few years to a younger, more diverse collective. This means old voting patterns are more likely to be broken. It doesn't matter how much negative press the Oscars are getting, everyone still wants that gold trophy. Now, if you ask me for my predictions, I'm going to guess that Roma will win Best Picture and Best Director. It is a tight race this year, but I did guess the top awards at the Grammys last weekend correctly, so I'm feeling a little confident. That's it for me. Back to you at the desk.
Iowa head football coach Kirk Ferentz may be familiar with challenges on the field, but his new opponents will be in court. Ferentz and his wife Mary will go to trial for a lawsuit filed by their neighbors. The dispute began the year after 3 neighbors proposed a redeveloping of the neighborhood. To settle the dispute, neighbors formed a homeowners association in 2015, but the Ferentzes were required to join an association in 2001 with different rules. Ferentz's neighbors accused them of trespassing by planting trees and installing pavers that the neighbors say intruded onto the neighborhood's main road. For more details surrounding this case, grab a copy of today's paper where Daily Iowan sports reporter Marissa Payne goes more in depth.
Anthony, do you have any plans for the holiday?
I do not, but I know someone who does, and that's Natalie in the sports studio. Let's see what she has to say about sports.
Thanks, guys, and that's right. Luckily tonight I will be spending Valentine's Day inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, also known as the love of my life, watching the Iowa women's basketball team do what they do best. On Monday, Iowa was selected as the #3 seed in the NCAA Women's Selection Committee as the top 16 were revealed. If the season were to end today, the Hawks would be a #10 overall seed and host the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament here in Iowa City. But we all know that there is still a lot of basketball left.
You know, what that does is gets people talking about it, and that's exciting. It's certainly what we would like to have happen, is to have an additional 2 more games here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. But we also know it can change in a blink of an eye, really, if we're not careful.
The Hawks are 19-5 in overall and 10-3 in Big Ten play. Iowa is also undefeated inside Carver Hawkeye Arena with only 3 regular season home games left, with Illinois coming into town tonight and #7 Maryland on Sunday afternoon. The conference also announced Monday that for the 11th time this season, senior Megan Gustafson was named Big Ten Player of the Week. And for what the Hawks do best, they will need Megan inside the paint. She does lead the nation in points per game with 27.3 and ranks second in field goal percentage with 70.6%. There is one thing about Megan that is slightly different than others, though.
We try not to put any pressure on her, but she doesn't put any pressure on herself either. It's not like she feels like it's important for her to score this many points. It's not important to her. It genuinely is important that our team wins. And she really doesn't care about that individual stuff. And again, that's amazing in itself, because in this generation, you know, there's a lot of selfish people out there, and she's not one of them. And I think that helps her in this role and just be able to calmly go about her business as usual.
Starting off with Illinois, the Fighting Illini only have 2 Big Ten wins. On January 20th, the Hawks did beat Illinois 94-75, and since then they've had 5 losses and only 1 win. Illinois has a strong center, but nothing compared to Megan Gustafson, so I do not think that will be a problem. But from the first game, the Hawks said Illinois showed that they could shoot, which will be hard for Iowa to contain.
They've got a good post player, and they've got some really good guards that can hit them from deep, really deep, and so we got to be ready for that. Right now our full focus is on Illinois, and so it's 1 game at a time, and obviously the next game we have Maryland coming to town, and that'll be a fun game too.
Illinois trails in the series 5-29 in Iowa City, and it will definitely be difficult for the Illini tonight because of Iowa fans spending Valentine's Day cheering on their favorite team. But I do have to say that I'm going to take Iowa on this one again if they continue to play smart with the ball. But be sure to follow me on Twitter at NIDITV Sports for live updates from tonight's game, and be sure to tune in tomorrow morning for more on Iowa wrestling with DITV Sports reporter Jonathan Rawson. Guys at the desk, back to you.
And that wraps up this Thursday morning edition of DITV. Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all the latest news every day of the week.
And if that is enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now, or you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
You're right, Sydney. For DITV, I'm Anthony Caligiuri.
And I'm Sydney Zatz. Have a great day, everyone, and a happy Valentine's Day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place.